You're at dinner with your closest friends. The bill arrives and someone suggests splitting it evenly. You ordered the cheapest item on the menu and drank water. Your friend ordered 3 cocktails, an appetizer, lobster, and dessert. You do the mental math. Your meal was $28, but your share of the split bill is $73. You smile, nod, and hand over your card because saying something would make you look cheap. Congratulations, you just paid a $45 tax for having friends. This isn't a one-time thing. It's systematic wealth extraction disguised as social harmony. If you think I'm being dramatic, let's talk about what this pattern actually costs over a lifetime.
My name is Prime Gorilla, and I've spent an uncomfortable amount of time calculating the financial damage inflicted by the people who supposedly care about you most. Not because they're bad people, but because nobody talks about how friendship operates like a subscription service you never agreed to.
The average American spends over $4,000 per year on social obligations: weddings, birthday dinners, after-work drinks, weekend trips, group gifts, bachelor parties, baby showers. These aren't luxuries you chose, they're social taxes levied by your peer group. The penalty for non-payment is exclusion. You can't opt out without becoming that person. So you pay up month after month, wondering why your savings account looks anemic despite making decent money. Let's start with the most predatory social construct ever invented, the destination bachelor party. Your buddy from college is getting married. He's decided the appropriate celebration is a 4-day trip to Miami, Nashville, or Vegas. You don't want to go, and you can't afford it, but 12 other guys are going. So you book the flight, $400. Split the Airbnb, $300. Dinners, $200. Drinks, $300. Activities and group gift, $200. You just spent $1,400 to watch someone you see twice a year get embarrassingly drunk in a city you didn't want to visit. And the wedding hasn't even happened yet. Add another $500 for travel and accommodations, plus a $100 to $200 gift. Suddenly, one friend's life decision has cost you over $2,000, and you're supposed to be happy about it. Multiply this across your social circle. If you're in your late 20s or early 30s, you're hitting peak wedding season, 4 to 6 weddings per year if you're remotely social. Even skipping the bachelor parties, which brands you a bad friend, you're still looking at $3,000 to $4,000 annually just to watch people you barely keep in touch with make promises they have a 50% chance of keeping. The math gets worse with birthday dinners. Someone in your friend group has a birthday every month. 12 mandatory dinners where you're expected to subsidize someone else's celebration. You show up expecting a $40 burger and beer, but the birthday person ordered champagne for the table and someone suggested appetizers. Now you're in for $85 before tip. Do this monthly and you've spent over $1,000 per year celebrating your friend's successful orbit around the sun. Then there's lifestyle creep. Your friend buys a boat. Now there are boat days where you need premium beer, chip in for gas, and buy appropriate boat shoes. One person's boat becomes everyone's financial burden. Or someone gets into wine, and casual hangouts turn into tasting events where you're expected to bring a bottle costing more than $15. You were fine with boxed wine, a technological marvel, but now you're browsing like you're studying for an exam. The sneakiest wealth drain is the group trip. It starts innocently. Wouldn't it be fun if we all went somewhere together? But group trips reveal true financial hierarchies. One couple wants the nice hotel. You were thinking hostel. Someone wants restaurants for every meal. You planned to hit a grocery store. The group operates at the spending level of its wealthiest member, and everyone else quietly goes into debt trying to keep pace. What makes this insidious is its invisibility. Nobody sends an invoice labeled friendship tax. It's 1,000 small decisions where saying no feels worse than saying yes. Death by 1,000 brunches. Each expense seems reasonable alone, but they compound into a pattern that keeps you broke while making you feel socially fulfilled. The people pushing these expensive norms hardest are often those who can least afford it. They're not rich, they're just better at hiding their credit card debt. There's a psychological trap. When you spend money in a group, it doesn't feel like spending, it feels like participating. The pain of payment gets diluted across the social experience. Your brain codes it as fun, not expense. This is why ruthlessly frugal people hemorrhage cash in social situations without blinking. This pattern varies based on your peer group's collective financial literacy. I've watched friend groups implode because half figured this math out and started declining invitations, while the other half took it personally. The social spending trap is designed to make financial responsibility look like social betrayal.
But understanding the mechanism is step one. The real question is what you do without becoming a hermit. I'm not suggesting you abandon friends. I'm suggesting you stop letting them accidentally bankrupt you. That requires a different approach to social spending that almost nobody implements because it requires the one thing our culture hates more than being broke: saying no. The first step is recognizing friendship and spending are not the same thing. Obvious until you realize your entire social life is built around transactions. Every hangout has a price tag. Every memory comes with a receipt. We've normalized this so extremely that suggesting a free activity sounds like poverty roleplay. You must become the friend who suggests the alternative. When someone proposes an expensive restaurant, counter with a picnic. When they want a pricey concert, suggest a house party. You will feel like the cheap friend. But something interesting happens. Some people will appreciate it because you're not the only one silently stressing about money. Use this script. I want to hang out, but I can't justify spending that much right now. I'd rather do something cheaper so I can actually relax and enjoy it instead of stressing about my bank account. Is anyone else open to a different plan? This isn't "I'm too poor," inviting pity, or "that sounds boring," defensive. It's a clear statement of values that opens the door for others who feel the same way, but were too scared to speak up. You will lose some friends, let's be honest. There are people whose entire friendship is built on shared spending. If you stop spending, the friendship evaporates. That stings, but those weren't real friendships. They were economic alliances disguised as social bonds. A real friend cares about your presence, not your purchasing power. The subtler trap is the gift economy. Birthdays, holidays, weddings, baby showers, every life event requires a financial tribute, and the amount keeps inflating. I've watched people spend $50 on a birthday gift for someone they see twice a year. Multiply that across a social circle of 20 people, and you're spending $1,000 a year on obligatory gift giving. The wedding industrial complex is financial violence. You're expected to buy a gift, cheapest registry item $80, attend the bachelor or bachelorette party, a weekend trip, buy new clothes, and if you're in the wedding party, pay for a dress or tux you'll never wear again. The average wedding guest spends $300 to $700 per wedding, attend 5 a year, and that's a subscription service you never agreed to. Here's what nobody tells you. You can just not go. Decline the invitation. Send a heartfelt card with $0. The guilt is manufactured. The bride and groom will survive. They might prefer it because it lowers catering costs. We've created a matrix where attending events you can't afford is considered more important than your financial stability. That's insane. The psychology is social proof. We determine what's normal by looking at everyone else. If everyone is spending, your brain interprets that as correct behavior. To deviate feels like failure. But what if everyone is also quietly broke, also stressing? You're all performing financial stability for each other while individually panicking in private. It's a Mexican standoff of fake affluence, a collective delusion. Someone has to break it first. Social media amplifies everything. You're competing with curated highlight reels. You see vacation photos, restaurant check-ins, concert stories. Your brain processes them as evidence everyone else is living a full, expensive life, and you're missing out. FOMO is a financial weapon, but you're seeing the front stage performance, not the backstage panic. The dinner, not the credit card statement. The engagement ring, not the payment plan. So how do you escape without becoming a hermit? Start by having uncomfortable conversations individually. Next time someone suggests an expensive dinner you can't afford, say, "I'm trying to be more intentional with my money right now, but I'd love to hang out. Want to do something cheaper?"
90% of the time, real friends will say yes immediately. The 10% who react poorly aren't your friends. They need an audience for their consumption, and you just resigned. Be the person who suggests alternatives first. Text, "Want to grab coffee this weekend?" or "Come over and cook dinner together." You're giving permission for everyone to stop performing. Create spending boundaries and communicate them clearly. If your max is $50 a month on social activities, that's your budget. When you hit it, you're done. Say, "I've hit my social budget this month, but let's plan something for next." People respect clear boundaries stated without apology. Take the money you would have spent and put it in a Freedom Fund savings account. Watch it grow. Every time you're tempted to say yes to fit in, look at that account. Remind yourself, every dollar not spent on social signaling buys you options to quit a job you hate, to take a month off. The dinner is temporary, the freedom is permanent. Recognize your friend group might change, and that's okay. Friendships built entirely on shared consumption have no real foundation. The ones that survive your financial boundaries are worth keeping. For weddings specifically, you don't owe anyone a weekend bachelor party trip to Nashville or a $300 registry gift. What you owe is genuine care, which can be expressed without destroying your budget. Send a thoughtful card. Offer to help with something free like setting up the venue. Show up to the ceremony, skip the reception if the gift expectation is too high. The couple is too overwhelmed to notice your absence. If they hold it against you, refer back to the point about consumption-based friendships. You can have a rich social life for almost no money with a little effort. Free events exist everywhere. Parks, hiking trails, museum free days, community festivals, board game nights at home. We default to expensive activities because they require zero creativity. Just show up and swipe. But the activities you actually remember, the ones that create real connection, are almost never the expensive ones. The ultimate realization: your real friends want to see you, not your credit limit. If someone's friendship is contingent on your ability to spend money in their presence, you're not friends. You're their entertainment budget. You deserve better. Cut the people who make you feel poor for having boundaries. Keep the ones who suggest the walk in the park. Your bank account will recover, your stress will drop, and you'll discover something surprising. You're actually happier spending time with people who don't require you to perform financial stability you don't have. Turns out, connection doesn't have a price tag. It just took you getting broke enough to figure that out.